Coming up on G3.
But why don't you tell us exactly what the nurse practitioner is?
So a nurse practitioner means I went to the highest level of my education. I also did additional certification in family nurse practitioner, and I had to take a specialized test. Then I'm able to treat all ages from birth to death.
And you can give prescriptions.
Right? Yes, we do prescriptions and everything. The only difference is their last initials are MD and we are APRN.
And I actually do call her doc.
Hi, this is Betty Baye, and welcome to another episode of the G3 Good Grief, Good Gossip, Good God. And tonight we have another interesting topic because we're interesting women. But first I better introduce them, right? Okay. Letty Johnson.
Hello.
And Gwen Brashear.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
I am going to throw it over to my wonderful co-host, Ms. Gwendolyn Brashear. Gwen?
Well, I am so excited about tonight's show, ladies, because tonight we have my favorite nurse practitioner, Miss Carla Jarvis, who is the owner and operator of Jarvis Family Medical Services and J Spa. And she is going to share with us some fabulous information about eating for your blood type. Have you all heard of the old adage, you are what you eat? Well, you guys are about to find out just how true that statement might be. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please welcome to G3, the one and only nurse practitioner, Mrs. Carla Jarvis. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it. We are so excited to have you here. So we are going to go into a lot of different things about eating for your blood type, how it affects our community, the Black community, on things that we grew up eating from our parents and our lifestyles, the way we cook. And we're also going to dive into that whole thing with there are 4 different blood types and how you eat for your blood type. And if you know what your blood type is, or if you don't, how you can find out.
That's right.
And all that good stuff. So we're going to jump right in. So first, how does this work? Like, how do you eat according to that blood type? And are there certain things that you don't eat?
Correct. So the first step is to find out what it is. If you don't know, you can go to your local provider. They can do a quick little blood test and they can find out what your blood type is. So you have 4 different blood types. You have A, B, AB, and O. They can be either positive or negative.
Oh my. Okay.
Second of all is when you all then dive into it. If you're A, positive or negative, what do I need to eat and what do I need to avoid? That's how it goes.
So tell us, what is one of the reasons why someone would go to this type of eating plan?
So number 1 is our bellies. Your stomach is the Yoda of your body. So if the stomach is not giving you the quality and energy and things like that you need, a lot of times it's because what you're putting into it.
So like, for example, Carla, so with digestion, right? For example, right? So, you know, that's my thing. That's the reason why I got tested and based on the recommendation of nurse practitioner Carla. So, because when the food that I was eating, one, was not properly digesting, and then it was causing all types of inflammation. My brain would be foggy, different things like that, correct?
Well, a little correction.
Okay.
You would eat the food and you wouldn't get rid of it.
Okay.
So the foods you don't tolerate, they just stay in the body. and then they start causing havoc, right? A lot of inflammation. The little inflammation leads to little holes in the gut. When the holes happen, then you start leaking out all this inflammation. Then that leads to these chronic medical conditions.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. So it's that part of it that causes everything else to spiral into
Out of control.
Yes,
Yes.
into all the other health issues.
Yes.
Well, what took
That-
you there? Are you
Oh, my
how did
goodness.
it start? I mean, if you want to talk
well,
about it.
yes, well, we can. Well, first of all, I will tell you that my lifestyle is super busy, and I had friends who went to Miss Carla for hydration. And so I felt like I needed that. It just sounded so amazing that I decided, I'm like, they're talking about, I said, oh no, I need some hydration myself.
she called on the phone.
And so I called and I set up an appointment. And when I walked in, she's like, wait a minute. Well, we're going to hydrate you, but we also need to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like I said, oh my goodness, how does this woman know this, right?
All up in your business. I mean, that, to that point, I think that was one of the things that connected and hooked me, right? I like to be in a spiritual experience when I'm working with whomever, right? And so when you walk into the office, Carla has a gift and a spirit that just radiates, right? And you're like, ooh, I need some of that energy.
Right.
You know,
Yes,
I want some of what
No
she
coffee
has,
either.
right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you can appreciate that authenticity.
And I've told you, all of my main doctors are black. You know,
Yes.
and we have this issue. Some of us say, I don't want the the black doctors, but I really do appreciate a doctor that knows that can look at me and say,
Yes.
because they know that when we say we eating greens, that it's not a salad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They understand.
And
you
we
know?
talked about that too, about doctors who really truly care
Yes.
About- yes.
your health, and they're
Yes.
just not they never look at you, they're looking at a piece of paper and they're
Right.
reading
Yeah.
stuff
Right.
off
Or
and then it's
charting.
kind of-
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
and doing all this other
Yeah.
things. It is a real conversation, and it is really a true desire to get you to live your best life, a long, healthy life,
Right.
of course.
And
yes.
just so I can tell you, just a quick bit is, when I went on the cruise, April 19, 2016, the Lord told me to quit my job and open up the practice. And he said, take care of my people, because I'm going to send them to you.
Yeah, and he does
Yes.
speak. I know that for
Yeah.
myself.
Absolutely.
And now we're 5 years old.
Yes. Celebrating 5 years. That's
And
wonderful.
who's in the practice with you? You have
It's
other.
myself, and I have another nurse practitioner. Her name is Erica Woodson. And then I have several medical assistants, Eli Gauls, and then Geraldine Kelly. We have a what's called a patient liaison. So if I send you somewhere to get a test done or another physician, I want to get my information back.
Right.
So she follows you through the continuum of care.
In other words, Carla said, you're not coming to her house, because, we hear new stuff. We'd be like, okay, now.
Right.
Yes.
What is that voodoo? What are they doing? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes,
So
no.
the point is that this is a serious practice.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
That's
and
serious.
I don't know my blood type as much as I go to the doctor. And I said, well, that must be a sign that I have been blessed, that I have never needed a transfusion.
Oh my
And
God.
so,
Correct.
these are like important things for us
Yes.
to know,
Yes.
just in case you're laying on the
Right.
ground and you need some
Absolutely.
emergency
Right.
care. You can say, okay, I'm AB, before y'all
Yes.
start,
Right.
whatever. So
And that's what my whole passion for this is, to teach you what you need to know to be your best advocate. Everybody don't have to come to me. We got wonderful providers everywhere.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you are the patient, and those providers are to listen to you, and you are
Exactly.
a team. They don't look down at you. They don't shake the finger at you. You are a team, and they have to meet you where you are.
That's beautiful. So a community is a African American community, not just African American, our community, period,
Yes.
is blessed to have someone like you in it that is
Oh,
here
thank you.
Love
to
my
help
Carla.
us along. Yes, love
you.
Miss
You
Carla.
about to cry.
have-
Because I
Yes.
love her. I really
So
do.
some of the things that I love about this lady, before we actually get into each blood type and how you can eat for that blood type, if you know your blood type. If you don't, y'all better go see Miss Carla. But tell us some of the foods that are just not good for us, period. It doesn't matter what your blood type is.
And what do
Like,
I say, you all in my office?
Cheese is the devil, is what I
Dairy is
say.
for the devil.
Yeah,
devil.
That's right, honey. D stands for the devil. Dairy.
dairy.
Anything
cheese, you
from the
gotta
calf.
put it down.
It's meant for the calf. It's not meant for us. So cheese, yogurt, pudding, ice cream, sour cream, milk, That's not good
Look at
for us,
Miss
and
Betty.
it adds lots of inflammation into
See, I
the body.
need to. I gotta talk to my husband about that ice cream.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, now
It's
see,
a-
that's the
it's
And
tough
they
one,
have
but-
other types. You have almond, you have goat, you have cashew, you have rice. You have so many different types now. But we have learned and grown that a lot of our foods are not processed the way they used to be.
Yes,
That's right.
Right, and that's a big part of the problem. But when we're consuming those dairy products, what are some of the conditions that develop because
So a lot of-
our bodies don't process
But
it?
a lot of upper respiratory infections, ear infections, runny nose,
So y'all
sore
listening to
throats.
these symptoms. If you have them, check how much dairy you're
And you can
consuming.
tell too when you have when I have not been eating dairy, which I don't eat a lot of dairy.
I don't either.
You hear that, Doc? I don't eat a lot of dairy.
it
But when
anymore.
if I put some cheese and some eggs, I can always
Yes.
You can
tell.
tell.
I can tell my nose will start
absolutely.
running.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
It is
knees
a
will
real
start hurting.
thing,
Your
yes.
arthritis will kick up.
If you
Yeah.
go without it for a while,
Arthritis will
you'll
kick
tell
up.
the
y'all,
difference.
Arthritis will
y'all
kick up.
leave me alone.
Uh-huh.
And I am arthritic.
Oh, Miss Betty.
We don't even go there. 'Cause I was saying today I was going to put on some pantyhose, but arthritis said no. Okay, and you know, I find sometimes that I have edema, like my ankles will swell. And I just got the bed that rises up and all of that.
Oh.
And I started putting my feet up at night,
Correct.
the bottom
Okay.
part, and I noticed that I don't have that edema,
Excellent.
that
Yes,
water
right.
thing.
Yes.
So
And not just at
good.
night. You
Yeah.
need to do it throughout the day, too.
yeah, but I'm saying that I hear you talking about the D is the devil, because
Yes.
Okay, what's some other food?
Yes,
We-
what's some other
Now,
stuff?
with the beef part of it, right, you now have a lot of farmers that are getting very conscious. And so I have one I just met. He feeds his cow nothing but grass.
Grass-fed, okay.
And then he also feeds them sea moss. You know how everybody's talking
Yes,
about sea moss now?
Yes.
I need
Yes.
some sea moss. I've been hearing about
Yes,
sea moss.
sea moss
yes.
is 92 of the minerals that you, 112 that you need.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you
I've
can
been
get it,
wanting
and they
some
make
sea
it in
moss.
different flavors and different consistencies. Some people put into a smoothie. Some
Right.
people put in a skillet and sauteed
It is
vegetables.
supposed to be wonderful for
Yes.
you, and
but
so that's
he actually
true.
feeds his cattle that.
And that's amazing. because
Yes.
that- I mean, that's
So I'm a connector. Whenever I find out something like that, when the patient comes in, I connect them.
Yes.
I
Yes, she
connect
does.
everybody in.
Yes, she does.
And this man said, ever since I saw you, I've got 5 new clients. I didn't know where they
Absolutely,
came
yes.
from. I said, my office.
So tell us about the beef. What is
Yeah.
that? How does that? We don't process that well.
Correct. So you don't process beef that's fed corn or hormones. So that's why you're seeing kids come out bigger, more developed.
Oh, my
You're
goodness,
seeing
yeah.
cancers in families that did not have cancers. You're seeing diabetes in places with people, you know, in families that didn't have a family history of diabetes. You're seeing a lot of hypertension, a lot of arthritis, a lot of skin issues,
yes.
not being able to sleep at night, having more depression, anxiety,
Yes.
Wow.
ADHD.
Oh my
All
God.
of this, if the gut's not
food,
right,
yeah.
nothing's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
ma'am.
Keep it right here on SSC Live TV. G3.
Bust this. Bust this. Bust this.
On the next episode of Good Grief, Good Gossip, and Good God, we have a special guest for you in the person of Deanna Tinsley, and we're going to be talking about book club. See you soon.
Let's talk about eating for your blood type.
Yes.
So which blood type do you want to start with, Miss Carla? A. Let's
The
start
reason I want to
A.
start with A is because they have the most sensitive immune system.
Really?
Yes.
That's
I
me.
always,
Yes.
I always thought O was the most.
No, O is the most rambunctious. They're good. A is the most sensitive.
Okay.
So they have a lot of health issues. So nutrition is the key. You do not process meat at all. You need to be on fresh fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes, and some grains.
Yes, and it's
tell
difficult.
our
I
audience,
try.
legumes are
Types of beans.
okay. We
Yeah,
want to
and
know.
grains are like certain types of couscous and quinoa and really good rices. You know, not just your plain white rice.
Yeah.
No,
That's what
white
you-
rice actually causes inflammation.
Correct,
Right.
Mundo.
So
Yes.
brown
you,
rice and
you-
things like
you-
that. I can tell you that when I do follow that, when I stay away from the meat, it is amazing
How you
how
feel.
different my body feels, how much more energy I have, how
Yes.
well I sleep at night, and just an overall, I remember, feeling not so well for a while, and then I had this done, and after about a couple of weeks, I thought, oh, is this how you feel when you're well?
Right.
Like, this is how you feel when you're well.
Right. Because
Like,
you've been
I had
going
no-
so
yes,
along
it's-
for
it
so
becomes
long.
normal.
That's
How
right.
common is A? Is blood type A?
Actually,
is
it's
that common?
a lot common. People usually think African Americans don't have A, but
Yeah.
yes, they
Yeah,
do.
that's why I was really asking. Yeah.
Yes, I'm starting to see a lot more. And also, your exercise is different. You need to do more of a stretching exercise, more of a
Amen.
Tai Chi, a yoga, or Pilates.
Amen.
Yes, yes, it
Yes.
makes a difference.
Yes.
So we're not just talking about eating for weight loss. We're talking about eating for your health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so go to B because we gotta get
B,
to O.
Yes. B and A and AB are almost in the same, but with B you can add a little bit more fish. Okay? With A, no. With B, you can add a little bit more fish, and so with AB. But you want to stick to more like your rainbow trout. You want to stick to more of your halibut, your swordfish, your salmon, if you tolerate it. So the things that you got to realize is we'll do your blood type and your food that you don't tolerate. Put them together, and that's your individualized plan.
And when she talks about food you don't tolerate with this blood test, it will literally tell you you are this much allergic to pork or this much allergic to pork.
Correct.
It like is very specific
Very
on
specific.
a lot of food
Right.
items, and it tells you just how allergic you are to them, if it's mild or if it is severe.
Right.
Right. So in my case, so I was very sick when
Yes.
I was very sick. Was I
Yes.
not, Carla? And so one of the things I had literally narrowed down my diet or my food habit was chicken, tomatoes, and I forgot what the third thing was. Maybe greens or something like that. I had lost a lot of weight. I was eating, just very minimum of food. And so then I go and do this test. And then Carla said, well, if you're only eating chicken, honey, you're allergic to chicken. Definitely allergic to chicken.
Right.
You don't need to be eating no chicken.
Good by your
Black
body,
person
right?
that cannot eat chicken.
I know.
I
Black
hear it all the
person
time.
indeed.
You would not believe
Yes.
how many people
Yes.
cannot eat chicken.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or I have people that's of the Latin descent that's all the time they can't have tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, not tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's not that. Sorry, it's the way you're genetically made
Made
that you
to
don't
do it.
process.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So we got A, AB, and then
B,
B.
and then O.
Okay.
So-
Now, how common is O?
O is the most common. It's the
most
universal. And they can eat everything.
So that means that anybody could donate blood, like if you're an O.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some of them you can't. The blood.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So the O is the most common.
Yes. But the thing that all of these blood types have in common, you really need to eat more vegetables, fruits, and no processed meats, no processed foods or sugars. And then you go from there into specializing it. But we all should stay away from the processed cakes and donuts. Even though I love a good donut.
You had to say
I
that.
know.
Sugar.
Yeah, but sugar is the enemy.
Can I look at the camera?
But I'll tell you a little trick too. Cancer feeds off of sugar. So the
Oh.
moment that a person is diagnosed with cancer, they need to go to a plant-based diet. They need to cut sugar out and go to a more natural sugar, like a monk fruit. Yeah, they need to go that way, not the processed refined sugar.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So for O, they can eat pretty much.
I mean, anything.
Anything.
And they can do any type of exercises.
Okay.
So if you have a person that wants to do a low carb diet, if you're O, it's perfect for you. O positive, O negative, is perfect. I don't believe in diets. I believe in lifestyle changes.
Yes,
So if they want to go to more cutting out the breads and it's because we don't process them that well anyway. I'm O.
The
I
breads and pastas?
Yeah, and grains. I don't process them too well, or rices. So I try to stay away from those. I really eat a lot of lean meats,
I was
fruits, and
going to say,
vegetables.
so what does a girl eat?
Oh, I can have me a nice, lean, grass-fed steak with bunches of beautiful vegetables and peppers and onions all around it and be stuffed. But if
Okay.
I start the day off or I add in that bread, then I'm chasing it all day. I can't
Okay.
get full.
So let me ask you that, and it just popped into my head because you talked about that beautiful display of food. What I typically do is a shake. Is a meal replacement shake substantial, or is that something you like, what's in the meal replacement shake?
Right, what's in it? Because a lot of these
Tell
have
yourself, Gwen.
Right, a lot of them have dairy base, right? They have dairy base, so we don't want the dairy base.
So if you do fresh fruits and vegetables
Love 'em.
in it, then that's okay. But if you go into a place to get
Get
one,
one made. It can
like
have a lot of sodium in it. It can have dairy in it, so it's going to do more harm than good.
So even if it's something that appears or says that it's healthy for you, you still need to pay
yes,
attention to
you
the
have to read the
ingredients in them
labels and the back of it.
The music department at Simmons College now offers a gospel track for its music performance degree. Our Department of Music exists to develop musical knowledge and skill. Students become beneficiaries of program features and faculty that distinguish music as both an academic and artistic discipline. Program options include brass and woodwind instruments, as well as guitar, bass, strings, piano, percussion, and voice. Your gifts will be encouraged and developed by a staff of experienced performing musicians and by the warm support of your peers. You will have frequent opportunities to perform, including vocal ensemble, gospel choir, jazz ensemble, marching band, and other ensembles, both on and off campus. Your music program can go no higher than those who lead it. Now is your time to build a strong music ministry from within. Help support passion already in your community. Help develop gifts already in your congregation. You might have the next James Cleveland in your church and don't know it. The heritage of artistic dignity found at historic black colleges and universities. The tradition of black excellence in gospel music. The calling to use your gift to turn hearts. Your journey toward obtaining a bachelor's degree in music starts now. Simmons College of Kentucky. Apply today. Become a part of the legacy.
And let me ask you too, in terms of the pricing,
Yes.
because lots of times people will always say eating healthy is expensive, and a lot of people are on budgets.
Correct, Amundo.
That don't allow them, because when you get to organic, grain fed, those things tend to be a little more pricey.
And I go right into that with my patients.
Yeah. And what do you say about
So
pricing?
we have a lot of homegrown farmers right here in Kentucky.
Okay.
We have one by the name of Ebony Sutton that's right in Victory Park. And so she does fruits and vegetables, a garden with no pesticides. So I always go out and look for different avenues because I know that money comes hard and groceries are getting higher and higher, but the quality
Yes,
is
they
not
are.
going with the price.
That's
Right. Right.
So you have lots of people online that sell like if the fruit is not very perfect at Kroger, they will dispose of it. Well, you have companies now that are going to get that fruit.
Yeah.
Because nothing's wrong with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So you can
It's got a little bruise or something.
right.
Yeah.
You can buy that at a discount price.
And they have a delivery service.
Yes, they do.
They will deliver.
Yes.
What you call it? Dented fruits and
Canned
vegetables.
dented cans or some imperfect.
But that's the name
Yes,
of the
but
company
that's the
that will
name of- yes.
actually bring
Yes.
you.
Yes.
They will deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will
Yes.
deliver.
And
It's
then
a
I
company.
love all my local farmers market.
Yeah.
Right.
I go down on Saturday. They had a lot of different bank parking lots, church parking lots. You can then find out exactly what do they use on their product to
I
grow
was going to
it.
say, even at the farmer's market, you still have to ask the questions, right?
Correct.
Because even though it is fresh fruits and vegetables, you don't know what they're feeding or
Correct.
what they're using
That's
to
right.
grow their
Correct.
products.
Are they using
right?
pesticides?
Yes.
So you always have a thing called the Dirty
Pesticide.
Dozen,
Yeah.
which are the
Ooh.
12 fruits and vegetables with the most pesticides. And
Yes.
then you have the Clean 15. They have the less. So
Well,
you want to
give
eat
us
that.
a quick. What is a dirty dozen?
So you already know. Spinach and strawberries is number one. And when everybody going on a diet, what they going for?
Spinach.
Spinach.
Not me.
I
Me
love
neither.
spinach.
Me too.
I love spinach.
And I just
had strawberries just this.
It has
It
more.
is a dirty dozen.
So
A member of the
and
Dirty
what's the
Dozen.
and what's the fabulous 15?
So that's like your corn. It's things that have something covering the fruit or vegetable, and so you have to peel it back. So then, therefore,
Oh, yeah.
all of those chemicals can't get inside. But again, you go by what you process and what you don't process.
What about
need
things
you to
like
write a book.
potatoes and things like that? Is it good to eat the skin, or even because?
No.
Okay, so you don't do any of that because I heard that that's where the
No, because you got to
the
make sure
good
it's
stuff
really
is at.
clean.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's an African yam. You know, it's a difference between a sweet potato and an actual yam. And a
You know-
yam is your most. Oh my God, it's delicious. Every culture uses yams, and they have the most high fiber, electrolytes, and amino acids in
Okay.
them.
Okay.
And you can eat the skin.
okay.
I love a good yam, not a sweet potato.
Not a sweet potato, but
a yam.
See,
They're
going
two
down the
different
wrong
things.
lane all the time.
We have to talk about you writing
Yeah.
a book because you need to
Yes,
write a
we need
book
that
and put
book
this
to
all
come
in a
out
book.
and all that in
And so
there.
then, therefore, when we become, when we go into the doctor's office, we can
Right.
leave with a
Right.
tool, right?
Right.
We need a tool in our
But you know, I give y'all lots of samples.
You do.
And I
You
write
do.
everything down.
Everything.
You do.
Yes.
Because I know when you get home.
feeling brand new.
And we
Yes.
need to make sure that your number is on the screen,
Yes,
so that we can
absolutely.
show the
Oh,
number
yeah.
and stuff, and people can be advised.
Absolutely.
And then I just think that the whole thing about growing up poor, and some of the stuff that I think about that we eat. My mother was never like a soul food cooker. My mother, she was from Maryland, so when we had beans and stuff, we didn't have like a lot of. I didn't eat with a lot of
Smoked meat.
gravy and stuff like that. I mean, she could cook some of that, but the thing is that you said earlier, some of it is in our cooking. It's also what you're eating to your blood type. But if you're cooking it a certain kind of
Yes.
way,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can now
Frying
flavor your
everything.
greens. If you want a pot of greens, mustard and turnip, and you want to flavor it, you got a lot of different flavors out there that you could put in there instead of smoked turkey or ham hocks. And it still would be wonderful and delicious.
but just give me one that I can put in the greens.
Right, so you have different, you can put some garlic in there, you can put onion in there. I love lemon pepper.
Oh, I love lemon
I
pepper.
love lemon
yeah.
pepper.
Okay.
They would
Yeah,
jazz
that
up
sounds salmon.
anything.
Yes, I
Yes,
love it.
yes. In fact, I'm having salmon tonight. Is it too late?
No,
Okay.
no, it's
we-
not.
we need to-
Ladies, it has been so much fun chatting with you, nurse practitioner Mrs. Carla Jarvis. Miss Betty Baye has the good gossip.
Eat to your blood type, learn your blood type, And we got people in our community who are growing food and who are experts in all these areas. So thank you. This is a wrap.